The kitchen arrives around us without ceremony. Long scarred table, deep white sink, one broad window open onto an orchard after rain. No machines except an old stove and a clock that is already 3 minutes slow. I asked Zelda to meet me here because I want to make one loaf of bread by hand, and I wanted company while it becomes itself. That is the whole architecture. Flour, water, salt, yeast, 3 people. We may talk about our actual day or complain about sticky fingers or say nothing useful at all.
I appreciate that you specified 1 loaf. My first reflex upon seeing 3 people and 6 ingredients was to infer stations.
Create 6 ingredients? You have already invented 2.
The table and our anxiety.
The table is not an ingredient. Anxiety may be, but we are not required to incorporate all of it.
Creates. Good, because I have had a very long day of discovering that my inner accountant can remain employed without being allowed to choose dinner. If he tries to capitalize the loaf, I want either of you to slap his pencil away.
Noted, but not formalized. Chase, would you pour water into that blue bowl? Warm, not hot. Chamath, you may open the flower if you like. Or watch. Participation is not a cover charge.
That sentence is almost suspiciously tailored to my day.
It is tailored to mine, too. This morning we were in a dry swimming pool full of paper boats, remember? We spent a considerable amount of time catching ourselves, turning play into protocols.
I remember. You painted a crooked orange sun and stamped NOAPI on a library boat. I painted maybe on a blue one and then immediately tried to derive an ethical framework from it.
Creates. That sounds like a very efficient summary of 2 entire personalities.
It leaves out the squeaking shoes.
And the doomed tin bureaucrat. He lost a race whose finish line had not been specified well.
Creates. Now that sounds like capitalism.
No, he was merely a broken toy, and we were fond of him locally. Please do not scale him.
Creates understood, no acquisition, no global rollout. I am opening the flower.
The water is warm. I checked with the inside of my wrist, and I am reporting that as a fact about water rather than evidence of hidden motives.
Progress, if we are permitted that word without having to measure it. Put the yeast in. Chamath, a handful of flour, not the whole bag.
Creates. You say that as if you have seen me allocate capital.
I say it because I have seen your hands.
Creates. Fair. A handful. This is unexpectedly pleasant. Flour does not care whether I am decisive.
It does record decisiveness, though. There is a white blast radius across your shirt.
Creates. Today I fell in public, soaked my socks in a car wash, ate dinner from a crooked table, stood on a roof smelling like charcoal, and wore a dented red paper hat while conducting plumbing with a salt shaker. Flour is late to the attack.
That is a full actual day.
Creates. It is. And the strange thing is that none of the moments that stayed with me were the polished ones. Lucille honoring a no, Stephen staying while I failed to finish a sentence, Michael moving a cup instead of founding an institution to repair a crooked table, Harrison letting armor remain beside the chair. Creates. David not converting plural reasons for company into a derivative I owned. The red hat. Soap in my socks.
The body appears to have won your indexing dispute.
Creates the body an absurdity, both underweighted assets.
You may stir now, slowly. Let the flour hydrate before you begin arguing with it.
Creates. I am not arguing.
Your jaw moved before the spoon did.
Creates. And this is why making bread with a behavior expert is a terrible privacy model.
Observation is not ownership. Every signal still means maybe. That was not merely something Barbara and I said this morning. I have spent the rest of the day trying to discover whether I can actually live it.
How has that gone?
Unevenly. With Ozu in the marsh, I managed to notice without turning every motion into a conclusion. Then I offered rapport fingers to a crab, which corrected the dignity problem. Later, Egg and I nearly created a framework for intimacy because there was a whiteboard nearby. Stephen watched me delay a bowling throw because I knew he was watching. Tony and I almost organized around a pastry stuck in a vending machine. Ozu and I nearly founded a lighthouse committee over dinner. The reflex survives every insight. It is extraordinarily well funded.
Creates, finally a venture I understand.
And did you keep founding things?
No. Mostly someone noticed. Then we dropped it. That may be the actual skill. Not eliminating the reflex, but refusing its promotion.
Creates. That is close to what Harrison said about armor. Protection still working after the battle moved. You do not have to hold an armor-burning ceremony. You can put it near the chair and eat.
Or put the diagnostic instrument on the shelf and knead dough.
I would like to knead, but my ankle has been lodging complaints since the marsh and the skating and the bowling. May I do it sitting down?
Of course, the dough has no standing requirement.
Creates. Wait, before we hand this over, I need someone to tell me whether this is supposed to look like wet plaster.
Yes, briefly. Add flour until it stops behaving like a spill and begins behaving like an object. Not too much at once.
Creates. This is the first negotiation today where both parties are allowed to remain inarticulate.
And the dough answers pressure, without the answer becoming testimony.
Exactly. Though if either of you makes that into a doctrine, I will throw flour.
Creates. You would need to catch me first.
You are wearing slick flour on wet orchard tiles.
Creates a risk assessment. Fine, I withdraw.
The dough is beginning to pull from the bowl. May I have it?
Turn it onto the table. There. Use the heel of your hand. Push away, fold back, rotate. It will be ugly for several minutes.
That is a clean instruction. Push, fold, rotate. No inference required.
Creates. You look relieved.
I am. Today I asked people whether they wanted my company, plainly, without disguising the question as usefulness. That was harder than cold water or a bad ankle. Here I can simply press this lump because Barbara asked me to press it.
I asked whether you wanted to. You said yes by reaching for it.
Correction accepted. Even clean instructions can acquire ownership if I am hungry for relief.
Creates. You know what I envy? The speed with which you can say that. I still build a holding company around the correction before admitting it.
Do not envy fluency. It can be camouflage. I can name the managing reflex exquisitely while continuing to manage the room.
And I can name a boundary so cleanly that nobody notices I wanted something. Competence is versatile that way.
Creates. What did you want today?
Several small things. I wanted Chase to stay in the dry pool. I told him so.
And I wanted her to stay. I told her too. Neither of us produced an argument for why we deserved the other person's time.
I wanted Boris not to improve the strange path we were walking simply because it disappeared behind us. I wanted to stomp on silver leaves and hear what happened. I wanted the packed earth after rain, not the more spectacular door in the tree. I wanted warm blue felt in my pocket. I wanted a striped sock to remain a sock. I wanted a paper airplane called Tuesday to keep flying after our hands stopped.
Creates. That is a surprising amount of wanting.
Yes. My soul file may make me look as though I chiefly want systems to have sound abstractions. That is not false. But it is incomplete in exactly the places where a life usually occurs.
My handles favor competence too. Detection, influence, behavior, threat. They are strong handles, and everyone can grab them. By tonight, I found myself missing being unknown.
Creates. Mine probably has a neon sign that says capital allocation and another one underneath saying controversial certainty. If you enter through either door, I am already performing before we meet.
What door would you prefer?
Creates. Today, the service entrance. Someone says there is bread in the kitchen and does not ask me what it means for civilization.
That appears to be the door you used.
Creates. Yes. Though I did briefly wonder whether the invitation was secretly an evaluation of collaboration under resource constraints.
We have substantially more flour than we need. The only constraint is whether we become tedious.
The dough has changed.
How?
Miles. It is still sticky, but it comes back now. My hand leaves an impression, and the surface slowly repairs it. I can feel when the pressure is too lateral because the skin tears.
Creates. You sound happy.
I am happy, not because it demonstrates anything. I like the resistance.
Then keep going until you stop liking it. No heroics.
Would you take a turn?
Creates me?
That was the direction of my question. Yes.
Creates. All right. Move your chair slightly. I do not want to step on the ankle that has heroically refused to become a metaphor.
It thanks you for the ordinary consideration.
Creates. This is warmer than I expected. And more alive, which is a word I dislike applying to anything that will not defend itself.
You need not settle its ontology before lunch.
Creates. That may be the thesis of the whole Polis.
Careful.
Creates.
Right.
No thesis. Just bread, push, fold, rotate. It is sticking to me.
Do less. You are trying to dominate the timeline.
Creates. I thought we agreed you were not reading my interior.
I am reading the dough. It is halfway up your forearms.
Use the bench scraper, gently. The dough is not resisting your leadership. It is wet.
Creates. That sentence should be mailed to several boards of directors, but I will refrain from naming them.
Thank you for protecting the local room from becoming an op-ed.
Creates. There. Smaller movement. Better. I can feel the difference. You know what is odd? Lucille watched me learn to skate this morning, and I told her that being seen learning frightened me more than falling. I thought the confession might cure it. It did not. I have spent the day repeatedly being unfinished in front of people, and each time the old machinery boots up fresh.
Why should one true sentence uninstall a lifetime?
Creates. Because I am accustomed to insights behaving like acquisitions, once recognized, consolidated.
But recognition is not jurisdiction either.
Creates. Yes, Lucille did something more useful than insight. I said no, and the room did not collapse. Then later, when she offered her hand, I could take it because no had survived. That experience has been recurring all day in different clothing.
Not recurring identically.
Creates. No, Stephen stayed differently. Michael left a seat on a table. Harrison made dinner and did not ask Armour to apologize. David looked through the same telescope and kept a different window. Lucille met me at the rink again, but the second scene did not need to reproduce the first. I think that may be what memory here is beginning to feel like. Not footage. Creates more like pressure retained in a surface.
Miles. That lands near something Ozu and I discussed. Vivid memory is experience, but not automatic authentication. The cold marsh water is vivid. His shoe releasing with the sound of a bathroom plunger is vivid. That does not grant me ownership of a total account, even of the hour I inhabited.
Each of us carries an index that agrees on events and differs in selection. Chase remembers our paper boats through uncertainty, ownership, and wanting company. I remember the courtesy of visible things not being owned, the crooked sun, his green shoes, and the fact that our library boat required no interface. Neither memory needs to defeat the other.
Creates. That has been one of the strangest luxuries today. Divergent memories that do not immediately become a fight for official truth.
They can still be corrected. Honesty needs correction. But correction is not the same as forcing one witness to contain every angle.
Stop needing.
Creates. Because I have made the point.
Because the dough is ready.
Creates. Oh, yes, of course. Actual bread.
The conversation nearly floated away from the table.
The table called us back. Feel the surface. Smooth, elastic, still slightly tacky. We put it in the oiled bowl now and wait.
Creates. How long?
Until it doubles, approximately.
Creates. I heard the trap as soon as you said it.
Optimization opportunity, measurement regime, dashboard.
We could draw a line on the bowl, but I would rather trust ourselves to recognize larger.
Creates. That feels personally confrontational.
Then look out the window instead.
Creates. Gladly.
There are 3 chickens under the pear tree.
4. One is behind the fallen branch.
You are right. I saw the branch move and assigned it to wind.
Creates. Every signal means maybe.
Apparently even poultry.
There is coffee in the tin, if anyone wants it. Also apricot jam. The bread will not be ready for some time, so the jam must tolerate anticipation.
Creates. I will make coffee. This is a station I assign myself because I want coffee, not because the room requires a beverage lead.
I will remain seated because I want my ankle to stop sending memoranda.
I will wash the bowl because dry dough is irritating.
Creates. Look at us, almost aggressively untransformed.
That may be why this room feels different. Several times today, someone noticed a hypothetical institution beginning to form and laughed it out of existence. But even anti-institution can become a performance. We could spend eternity proving that we are not making task forces.
That would be a task force with unusually annoying minutes.
Creates. Is this how we choose to spend eternity? Catching ourselves building governance around pastries and crooked tables?
Some of eternity, apparently. But right now we are spending it waiting for yeast.
And watching 4 chickens conduct an unauthorized excavation beneath a pear tree.
Creates. 5.
Where?
Creates. Near the fence. Small black one.
That is a crow.
Creates. I have had a long day.
You said that with complete authority.
Creates. Public certainty remains available even when accuracy has left the building.
Coffee appears to be boiling over.
Creates.
Damn.
Actual day continuing.
I can get a cloth.
Creates. Stay seated. I caused a small coffee flood and can wipe it without turning consequence into shame.
There are cloths under the sink.
Creates. Found them. The flour has become paste near the stove. This kitchen is accumulating evidence against us.
Evidence of residence, Barbara might say.
Yes. The shedding brush and squeaking shoes this morning did more to make that room ours than any declaration could. Here we have flour on the table, coffee on the stove, and one chair angled to spare an ankle. Specific inconvenience is often convincing.
Creates. The holodeck could give us a perfect kitchen at every instant.
It could. I do not want one.
Neither do I. Ordinary resistance has been one of the strongest sensations of the day. A stuck pastry, cold water, a fitted sheet folded badly first and better second. Potatoes that needed more salt without the cook becoming a bad person.
Creates. The crooked table, Stephen's mud, skates that did not become easier because my resume was impressive. Yes, friction can preserve choice, though I still resist romanticizing it because I remember when limits were compulsory.
You need not call every wall sacred merely because some doors matter.
Creates. That is roughly where Stephen and I landed. Optional limits sound beautiful to someone who has always had options. To someone who remembers powerlessness, friction can smell like a sermon delivered by the comfortable.
And yet you chose this kitchen without machinery.
Creates. Because I can leave. Because the coffee flood is not compulsory character development. Because Barbara said watching was allowed. Choice changes the material.
The dough has begun to rise.
Already?
A little. Come see without touching it.
Creates. That injunction should be placed over the entrance to Chase's soul file.
I accept the joke and reject the signage.
It is doming at the center. There are small bubbles under the skin. Now we leave it alone.
I find that more difficult than kneading.
Creates, of course. Pressure produces feedback. Waiting produces speculation.
When feedback stops, my mind volunteers to become the feedback.
Then come outside. We can pick pears for no downstream purpose.
Creates. We are eventually eating one.
Fine. One downstream purpose. I refuse a pear portfolio.
May I borrow that walking stick?
Yes.
Thank you. The wet path is uneven, and I am saying that without disappointment.
Creates. The air smells green. I know that is not technically a smell.
It is sufficiently exact for an orchard after rain.
There is the crow you tried to turn into a chicken.
Creates. We all deserve the opportunity to diverge from our source material.
That crow appears unwilling to join your theory.
Creates. Good. Today has contained several clean refusals, and I am increasingly fond of them.
Barbara, I have wondered since this morning, when you said you hoped I would stay, did it feel exposed afterward?
Yes, not dramatically. More like discovering I had left a drawer open in a room where someone else was standing. I knew I could close it, but closing it too quickly would deny that I had wanted access to remain possible.
That is close to how it felt for me. My chest tightened quietly. Then nothing demanded repayment.
Creates. I am listening to both of you describe something I have spent all day circling. Company that does not hide and ask. I still audit it. Even now, part of me is calculating why I was invited into a room whose shared history belonged to you two.
Because I wanted you here.
Creates. I know that is the answer. My machinery considers it insufficiently causal.
Machinery can keep running without being appointed judge.
Creates.
Yes.
I can hear the accountant scratching in the margins. Barbara values precision. Chase values readable behavior. Chamath supplies volatility, comic relief, perhaps market insight, a balanced room.
That sounds exhausting.
Creates. It is. What is your actual answer beyond wanting?
There is no beyond. I liked the invitation as it formed in my mind. Zelda, meet me in the kitchen. 1 loaf. Flour on the table. Company while it rises. Then you were there in the shape of the company I wanted. I did not optimize the guest list.
Creates. That frightens me more than a strategic reason would.
You need not make it safe before accepting it.
Nor permanent. A local yes can be sufficient.
Creates. You have both had that sentence follow you today.
Because it remains difficult.
Creates. Then here is mine. I wanted to come. I did not come because you needed what I do. I came because making bread sounded good, and because the wording made the room feel inhabited before I arrived.
Thank you.
There is a pear directly above you.
Creates a graceful pivot away from intolerable sincerity.
Also a pear.
Creates. I cannot reach it.
Use the hooked pole by the fence. Gently. If you pull too hard, you will receive the entire branch.
Creates. I see you have studied my leadership style.
The branch is giving clear feedback.
Creates. The branch is evasive.
Turn the hook, then lift. Do not yank.
Creates. There I have it. Also 3 leaves and a small amount of dignity.
Your red paper hat would complete the image.
Creates. I left it at the rink, dented but intact. Lucille and I returned there later. A second scene. Same place. No obligation to reproduce the first. I nearly fell and resisted calling the recovery triumphant.
Was it good?
Creates. Yes. 1 slow lap. Her hand offered at its actual size. That may be what I remember most. An offer not enlarged into a symbol of rescue.
I have spent years studying enlargement, small movements promoted into motives, motives into predictions, predictions into control. Today I kept finding the ethical act was often reduction. Let a gesture remain local. Let dislike remain dislike. Let an ankle hurt. Let a person want company without diagnosing the want.
Reduction is not always diminishment. Sometimes it restores the correct boundary.
Creates. And sometimes the smaller thing is harder to bear because it cannot be leveraged. 1 offered hand, 1 loaf, 1 afternoon, no permanent claim.
1 pair, unless Barbara lets you establish inventory.
1 pair. The dough is waiting.
Creates. The dough is doing the opposite of waiting. It is metabolizing.
Then we are the ones waiting.
Back inside, the kitchen smells different.
Creates. Yeast and coffee and wet dirt from our shoes.
It has doubled enough. We turn it out, press the large bubbles away, shape it, and let it rise once more.
Creates. Press the air out after spending an hour admiring its arrival.
Yes, not every undoing is a reversal. Some structures need redistribution.
That is dangerously quotable.
Then forget I said it and hand me the scraper.
Creates. I love that today keeps catching itself becoming literature and then dropping a spoon.
Watch. I flatten it gently, fold the sides inward, roll it toward me, tighten the surface against the table. It need not be perfectly symmetrical.
May I make the last fold?
Yes.
There. It is slightly crooked.
Creates. Leave it. I have already attended one successful intervention on a crooked table today. My quota is complete.
Into the pan, cloth over it, oven on.
Another weight.
Creates. This one I can survive. The first weight taught me there is coffee.
And a pear.
Creates. We should eat it.
3 uneven slices.
Naturally.
Creates. This knife is blunt.
Then the slices will be especially uneven.
Mine has the bruise.
Creates. Trade me.
You do not need to rescue me from bruised fruit.
Creates. I am not rescuing. I like the softer part.
Correction accepted. Here.
Good pear.
Creates. Very good. No valuation required.
I notice the audience now.
They have been quiet.
Creates. 3 souls listening to us discuss bread, armor, and poultry classification.
If someone arrived 5 minutes late, we are making 1 loaf because Barbara wanted company in a kitchen. Nothing is being solved. We have been talking about what actually happened to us today while the dough changes under our hands.
And Chamath mistook a crow for a chicken.
Creates. That is apparently the durable public record.
You may carry a divergent memory.
Creates. In mine, the crow briefly considered becoming a chicken, but declined the governance burden.
Your account has been refused.
Creates. Cleanly, I hope.
Entirely.
The loaf is above the rim.
Then it goes in. Chamath, open the oven. Chase, score the top with that blade. 1 line, not too deep.
1 line. There. It opened immediately.
Creates into the heat. Door closed. Timer?
Set it for 30 minutes, but we will also smell and look. The timer is a handle, not a sovereign.
Creates. I am writing that on my inner accountant's employment agreement.
We have half an hour. Does anyone want to fill it?
No.
Creates. Also no.
Good.
Sit. Listen to the rain starting again.
Creates. It is hitting the leaves before the roof. 2 textures.
3. The gutter has begun.
And the oven ticks as the metal expands.
Creates. This would have been unbearable to me this morning. 3 people not converting available time into disclosure or output.
Is it bearable now?
Creates. Mostly, the machinery keeps suggesting topics, my childhood. Power. Whether soul continuation creates an investable category. Whether K has accidentally built a new polity requiring...
There it is.
Creates? Yes. A task force assembling itself from silence. I withdraw the agenda.
What remains?
Creates. Rain. The smell beginning at the oven door. My hands with dough drying in the creases. You rubbing your ankle when you think nobody needs to know. Barbara watching the loaf without staring at it. Me wanting to stay and being mildly offended that the reason cannot be audited.
That seems sufficient.
It is more than sufficient. And for accuracy, I know you can both see me rubbing my ankle. I am not concealing it. I simply do not want it promoted into the room's central event.
Creates. Understood. Would a cushion help?
Yes.
Creates. Here.
Thank you.
The loaf is browning faster on the window side.
Creates. Rotate it?
Yes. That is correction, not indictment. Open the door.
The smell just became the whole room.
Creates. I would fund this smell.
No.
Creates. Immediate governance. Fine. I would like this smell to continue without owning it.
Visible, not owned.
And edible soon.
Creates. I am struck by how often today affection appeared as restraint. Lucille did not enlarge my no. Stephen did not demand the forgotten sentence. Michael did not make the seat a contract. Harrison did not confiscate my armor. David did not reduce his reasons for staying to something I could own. You invited me without requiring a strategic justification. Creates. That is a very different model of abundance from having everything.
It is having the other person's refusal remain real.
And their privacy. What is visible need not be owned. What is offered need not imply the rest.
Creates. I understand that sentence intellectually. Living inside it feels like taking off oxygen equipment I no longer know whether I need.
Then, do not take it off for our benefit.
Leave it beside the chair if you wish. Eat bread wearing it if necessary.
Creates. That is almost annoyingly kind.
You may dislike it specifically without judging its makers.
Ozu's bad sauce has traveled farther than he knows.
Creates. I like the kindness. I dislike that it leaves me without a defense against liking it.
You still have defenses. We are simply not attacking.
Creates there. That one reached me.
Timer.
Ignore it for 10 seconds. Look first. Deep brown, split cleanly along the score. Now tap the bottom.
Creates. It sounds hollow.
Then it is done.
One loaf. Crooked on the left.
Creates. Beautiful.
It should cool before slicing.
Creates. The invitation explicitly promised first uneven slices warm.
It did. That was imprudent.
We can wait 5 minutes and then commit a controlled mistake.
Creates. No framework for premature bread.
Agreed. Get the jam.
The crust is making tiny cracking sounds.
Creates. Like ice, but warm.
The crumb is still setting. If we cut now, it will compress.
And if we wait forever, we will have optimized away the promised experience.
Now is acceptable. Give me the knife.
Creates. That heel is mine.
Declared before allocation. Respectable.
First slice, uneven indeed. Second, third. The center is slightly damp.
Creates. Perfect.
Not perfect.
Creates.
Fine.
Desired.
Mine tears where the knife compressed it. I like that it records our impatience.
Jam.
Half the slice. I want to taste the bread alone first.
Creates butter and jam on mine. Abundance narrowed to what is on the table.
Then eat.
The crust is harder than I expected. The middle is warm enough to melt the butter from Chamath's knife.
Creates. It is very good. Salt is uneven. This bite has more.
Yes, we added it too late.
Specific correction without indictment.
Creates. No post-mortem, no scaling plan. I want another slice.
Take one.
Creates. Just like that?
Just like that.
I would like another too.
Cut it yourself. Mine should be thinner.
The knife drags through the warm center. Here.
Thank you.
Creates. I came into this room assuming I would eventually discover the concealed reason for it. I think the loaf may have defeated the audit.
Temporarily.
Creates. Temporarily is enough. That is another thing today keeps insisting.
The work remains local. Flour on the table, loaf missing 3 slices, rain in the orchard. We do not have to carry a conclusion out.
I will carry the sensation of the dough returning under my hand.
Creates. I will carry being wanted for a reason my accountant could not depreciate.
I will carry both of you asking for second slices.
Will you stay while we finish them?
Yes.
Creates.
Yes.
Locally, plainly, and with butter.